Hello, and welcome to the cover reveal of Porcelain by Jesse Sprague. Jesse, this is your first book published with Cursed Dragon Ship Publishing. How does it feel?
I don't know yet. We'll see.
We have to see what everyone thinks of the cover, right?
I need to think through experiences. I don't get through them quickly. I process things mentally, so it takes me a while to know how I feel about something, which sounds counterintuitive, but is true.
Well, considering it doesn't actually launch until December, you have a few months to actually mull it over.
So ask me in February.
I love it. I love it. We will ask you later. But what we do want to do is reveal the cover. And there we are. I don't think I even have to tell people what the genre is. I mean, just look at that cover.
I don't know. It's very inconclusive. Could be anything.
Anything.
Romance.
Florida Kevin,
comedy.
Jen Bear, both like at the same time. Creepy.
Yeah, parenting. Jen's right.
That's right. I love it. So real quick, while everyone is soaking in the cover, we'll talk about it in a minute. What I do want is to let you know what the back cover copy is, so you will know a little bit more about what this book is about. Her past is bathed in blood, but without trustworthy memories to guide her, her future may be equally drenched in red. 10 years ago, Gabrielle woke up from a blackout covered in blood next to her brutally murdered parents. Certain that her porcelain doll was the killer, she nevertheless clung to it because it was only protecting her, wasn't it? After years of therapy, living in institutions, and lots of medication, Gabrielle has made enough progress to enroll at the University of Washington. She just wants to be normal. A doll is just a doll, after all. But when she's sexually pressured at a date's house, she blacks out again and wakes up next to her date's bloody corpse with her doll. Worse, her brother's new boyfriend is the homicide detective on the case. Despite her brother's faith in her, she's left seeing two possibilities. Either she's a killer or her doll is. With her past catching up to her, Gabrielle is determined to find answers. If she doesn't discover the truth, the only people she loves and the only ones who love her could be the next victims. So she'll do whatever she has to, even if that means going to jail for murder to save them. Oh, Jesse. So this one's definitely quite a psychological journey, let me say.
Yes. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, it's quite entertaining in all the ways that we love these psychological thrillers, let me say. And now for the cover, we're going to talk. Obviously, we have the creepy cover doll on the cover, but I know your complaint was that the doll was almost too pretty. Can you tell us why?
Because the doll in the story is based on a doll from my childhood, a real doll. And every description of it is of that one. And this doll has things like hair and clothes that are not falling apart. And I'm like, it wasn't that I complained about it. It was like, it doesn't fit my mental image of the creepy demon doll that used to sit at the bottom of the stairs in my basement.
That's fair. That's fair. But as you heard from the audience, creepy was the first word they said. It definitely fits. I do want to say Minette Lesser says it looks nothing like the real doll.
That is my mom. And she's the one who kept the doll for unknown reasons.
Maybe she needs it for protection, Jesse.
Well, she gave it to me, so
I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. So I also want y'all to notice, because it took me a minute to notice when we are looking at these covers, because I'm busy trying to make sure the words are spelled right and it's got the right feel, that you can see the shadow of Gabrielle behind the doll. And I love that look. I love her being there, but you can't really tell what's going on. It's just kind of this shadow of who she is. And she kind of fights with that in this book, right? She has this little bit of shadow of her past and what she's trying to be, and they're kind of overlapping each other. Where did like the concept for this book come from, besides the creepy doll when you were a kid?
So when reading horror, the thing that tends to scare me most, and I realize this comes from my personal life, is the idea of not being able to trust your own mind. I've had mental health issues throughout my life, and it makes it very personal. And so this story was very much an outpouring of ideas and thoughts and things that were real to me in my life. It is not a true story. I know that you may question that as you read it and be like, this is clearly based on fact.
Well, that's because you did such a good job, though, quite frankly. No, it's really quite amazing. Tracy says, highly recommend T Swift's Peter song to go along with this story. Hauntingly beautiful. Fascinating. I will have to listen to that. Very exciting. Let's see. Based on the part that you are going to read, I don't think we'll talk about Peter more later. Peter is pretty darn fascinating. Probably my favorite character in here. Um, well, I don't know. You've got a lot of really good characters because you've got Cole. So it's cool. Like this subject, it is about Gabrielle and the doll and what she's going through, but she also has her brother, as we said in the back, and the homicide detective that's trying to solve what's going on. And he has a daughter, so that's involved in this as well. You have all of these complicated things all mixed together in what is happening with Gabrielle, and all the way through it you're questioning what's real and what isn't and what's going on and what's happening, and you have the multiple perspectives, and it's Gabrielle and Cole. And I'm wondering what did you have to do between the two perspectives in order to change it in your brain?
I actually didn't write them at the same time.
Oh, smart.
I wrote Gabrielle's story first, but I
Mm-hmm.
had a timeline for what happened. I think
Ah,
there were a few Cole scenes that I had to write during writing Gabrielle because they were so involved with Gabrielle. But for the most part, I didn't write them at the same time. I went back and wrote them.
smart. That's really clever. So that's why, because I have to say the voices are very different from each perspective. So that could explain why you did a really wonderful job. And I cannot wait till people get to read this. But you have a sneak peek for us, do you not?
I do.
Excellent. Do we need to know anything before you start reading?
Um, the scene takes place when Gabrielle has woken up and she doesn't know where she is. She wakes up and she's on the phone with 911 and she hangs up right before this scene begins and calls her brother. The reason that I need to tell you that is because she's talking to her brother, but he is not in the room with her.
Excellent. All right.
Okay. Gabrielle tucked her knees under her chin. The fragile calm engulfing her threatened to shatter. Blood, Michael. It's everywhere. It's on my hands. Are you hurt? His voice hinged on panic. No, but I think I hurt someone. It's a lot of blood. She rubbed her eyes again, hoping to clear the vision. The stickiness transferred from her hands to her eyelids, clumping in her lashes. The blood remained, and her artificial calm wavered. Take deep breaths. It'll fade. We can get you into Dr. White. These visions shouldn't be seeping over into your life. Where are you? I. Gabrielle braved the trail of splattered blood with her eyes. It wasn't real. She'd find her mother's body there and know the carnage was in her head. Slowly, she turned, observing more of the area. She saw through the doorway into the bedroom. The crumpled form inside was too big to fit her hallucination. That's not Mom. Gabrielle stood and crept forward until she had a better view. The 12-foot snake lay curled under the window as if waiting for the sun. She focused on the body on the floor by the foot of the bed. The shirt was in tatters, ripped open by multiple slashes, and blood soaked the material against his skin. 2 deep stab wounds penetrated near the shoulder blades. But the face. A squeak-like sob escaped her lips. Beneath the splatter, it was Joe. His dead, hematoma-stained eyes seemed to follow her as she took one more step. The bloodshot edges of his sclera screamed into her mind, telling her to run. Raw patches spread from the corner of his mouth. Matching rub burn marks marred his wrists. The python watched her with cold, black eyes. Gabrielle! Michael's voice drew her back to the phone, clutched in her hands. No, she whispered. It's real. You can't help me this time. I think I killed him. Don't say that. Don't say that to anyone, you hear? She nodded, and a choked whimper escaped her throat. Not saying it won't change the facts. It'll look like I did this, but I didn't. I couldn't have. Even if they ask, Michael said, you don't say that, and you don't admit anything. Where are you? Gabrielle could barely force her voice out from underneath the weight on her chest. I don't know. Joe's house? I don't know how I got here. I'm coming. Gabrielle's eyes flicked to the window and the woods beyond, then back to Joe's filmy gaze. The long pause that followed burned through Gabrielle. How do you know where I am? Gabrielle stumbled away from the body without breaking contact with Joe. Let it go. I'm on my way. Tell me what you see. Snake's cage, couch, snake, corpse. The fridge is open and some of the beers are spilled out. She crept closer to Joe and peered into the corners of his bedroom, leaning to keep her distance. Somewhere in her lurked a fear that his hand would reach out and grab her, pulling her into complete insanity. It doesn't look good for me, does it? Then out the window, Gabrielle noticed a movement inside Cinder's car. Bewilderment at why Cinder's car was there was buried under the surge in her blood caused by the swift movement. It was hard to see much, with only a vague pre-dawn light illuminating the area. Still, whatever was in the car seemed to be too small to be a person. An animal? Gabrielle moved across the blood-soaked floor to the glass, ignoring Michael as he rattled on. Out of the back windshield shone the eyes, golden and wide as a baby's. She's not real. She never was. I imagined her and her power. She was just a coping mechanism. I see her, Gabrielle whispered, and then let the phone fall. There was the answer. Gabrielle hadn't committed murder. She had.
Enter creepy doll. I love it. That was perfect scene. Good job. Yeah. No, I love it all the way through it, man. There's a reason. Yeah, Naramar says creepy. Creepy and chilling. Ooh, there you go. We got lots of stuff going on here, man. Yeah, Lahia said that was awesome. It was awesome. And that kind of is, I really like that you chose that scene to read too, because that is the feel for the book. That is how it feels when you're reading it. So that's a really good choice there. So we know we are going to be doing the art copies, so early copies for people who want to get them. We will have, I will send you a link so that you can do that. And if people do want an early copy, where can they get one?
My email list is probably the best place to go. If you go on jessesprague.com, a pop-up will show up immediately asking you to join my email list. So it's really easy to get onto. And from there, you can sign up for the ARC list, which there will be prompts coming from that. That's the easiest way to get to it, unless you want to message me directly, but.
That's perfect. And the link, Captain Wyvern just put it in the chat. So if you need it, you don't have to worry about spelling it, go right to it. And also, if you join our Discord at curseddragonship.com/Discord, we will also be offering it there so that you will know. As Northern is quite aware, she's always on there ready for the next book. So very excited about this. So think about your thoughts, because I'm going to ask you the same question about how excited you are in December, or relieved. I mean, you don't have to be excited. You could just be relieved that it's out, right?
I'm excited that this story is going out.
Yes.
This story has been waiting a long time to enter the world.
Haunt our dreams, yes. I love it. I love it. We're just going to put creepy and chilling, right on the back cover so people know. I love it. So anyone looking for a great psychological thriller with these really creepy horror elements, you can pre-order it now as well at curseddragonship.com/porcelain. And we can't wait for y'all to get your hands on this baby. And we'll see you soon. Oh, the launch. I didn't say when it launches. And this, the launch day for Porcelain is December 10th. So it'll be Tuesday, December 10th at 8 p.m. Central. And we will be in all of these places you see us now. And please come on in and tell Jesse congratulations, and can't wait for you to get your eyeballs on it. Though December, we're gonna have longer nights and shorter days, and it's gonna be really hard to sleep. I don't know. Did we do this on purpose, Jesse?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we did. Yes, we
I
did.
think we had a discussion. December is the best time for horror because all of the people who like horror are so sick of the happy-go-lucky Christmas stuff. They're like, no, give me something good.
Like, "Ugh." Yeah, exactly. I think that was our exact conversation. I love it. I love it very much. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, and we will see you soon.